How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
It is cold over here, Will.
It's cold. It's later than we normally do this.
It is. Everybody, welcome to a special night edition of Story of the Fight. This is your first
fresh
time,
off the card.
Really fresh off the card. If this is your first time tuning in, my name's Romero. That's my boy, Will. Say what's up, Will.
What's up, Will?
Oh, dude, see what you did there. And this is where we talk everything fights. So welcome. If you happen to catch us on YouTube, but you're like, hey, I wish these guys were on other platforms. Well, you know what? You can find us on Spotify, Breaker Podcasts, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much anywhere podcasts can be found.
Yeah.
Social media, Will?
Yeah, social media. We are at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. We're here on YouTube, obviously, as well. And there's a Facebook group chat.
Question mark?
There's no Facebook group chat. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Story of the Fight.
Opened up a TikTok today for Story of the Fight. I don't know how to use it yet.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure out what kind of content we could put on there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also
check us out on Reddit. You know, we're at Story of the Fight on Reddit. I created the subreddit and personalized all the graphics and stuff on it today. So that looks kind of nice.
Okay. And
so we're on there.
Shout out to our producer, Richard Casual, as well. We got him to watch part of a fight tonight.
Yeah. Oh, hey, also shout out Sansan. That was a sneaky little Sansan.
Always coming through.
I saw him. It popped up.
Dude, the end of that fight, I've never seen anybody throw 9 elbows in a row advancing forward. Like, I didn't know people could do that. Like, I'm going to try to throw 9 elbows at my roommate. Like, I'm going to see if my roommate can take 9 elbows just down the hallway.
Next week, we'll be looking for a new producer after Richard Casual gets thrown in jail for assault battery of his roommate.
You know, I'll be in, like, that cushy prison that rappers go to. So I can stream, dude. I can stream from there.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. All right, he's not going to skip a beat. But that brings us to the first event. The first event of 2022, Will.
Yeah.
We've been jonesing. We made do with what we had. We still put out content the last couple weeks, which was a lot of fun. But now we get to talk fights again.
Yeah, we get to talk fights. And what a great first one to talk about. As Sansan says, a sick main event.
Main event. Yeah, maybe.
It was crazy.
Kattar just holds himself for the first event of every new year.
Yeah,
maybe that just becomes a tradition
into the new year. Yeah,
Dude, he holds on to his number 5 spot, and he comes back 2023.
Yeah,
a new man.
Dude is so sick, honestly. When we were talking about it this morning, and I saw that he was a plus 250 underdog, I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy to me. I think
I can vouch for you that you wanted to place a bet.
Yeah, and I was like, fucking my bookie, whatever. But I was looking at that and I was like, plus 250. People saw the Max fight, I think, and just assumed that he's either done or that he was never that good to begin with or something. I'm not sure where that stat line came from.
Okay.
And part of it's probably because Giga was, murdering people on his way up here, right?
Well, being said, let's go and get started with the main event then. Kattar versus Giga Chikadze. Right.
Yeah.
Like we said, Kattar, it's been a year.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Giga Star has been steadily rising. I think he was on a 3 knockout streak.
Probably. It sounds right.
Right. So,
the only picture we have. The only picture we have.
Look at that face, dude.
Gnarly, man. That's what elbows will do to you. You know.
And I'll raise my hand and I'll admit when I was wrong. Will, you know this? I've gone on the podcast and said, you know what? I was wrong about this, and I was wrong about Kattar because I am one of those people. I picked Chikadze to win tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just didn't know what kind of Kattar we were going to get. Dude, he took a freaking beating against
Yeah,
Max Holloway.
it's not like he didn't have to take a beating in this fight. Giga was lighting him up, especially in the first round. But this morning when I said this is crazy that he's such a massive underdog, I also said I think Giga wins, but the odds are too crazy to like not do something about it. And then I didn't do anything about it. But what I meaning I didn't put any money on it. But what I did do is I started looking into it. You know what I mean? Eddie Bravo looking into it.
Eddie Bravo style.
Yeah. And then the more I looked into it, I was like, I think Kattar's going to win this fight. Like, stylistically, kind of a tough matchup for Giga. I know everyone's like, oh, Kattar's just a boxer. It's one-dimensional. Giga's going to pick him apart on the outside with his kicks. And that's what I was thinking before this morning. And then the more I looked into it today, I was like, I don't know, man. I think the length of Kattar, and he's by far the most talented guy who's currently in his prime that Giga's had to face up to this point in the UFC, in mixed martial arts. And I was like looking at the wins that Giga has and obviously they're impressive, right? But the Barbosa one is by far the biggest one. But
for sure.
But Barbosa's going to play the game that Giga's also playing. So it allows Giga to take advantage of that. Kattar's not going to just stand there and kickbox with him. You know what I mean? And so I was like thinking more and more, and I was like, you know what? I'm going with Kattar. I think he's going to win this. And then halfway through the first round, I was like, well, this is not going how I thought it was going to go. Giga was lighting him up with kicks. He was landing to the body every time. The Giga kick was landing maybe 4 times that first round. He was lighting him up with his hands anytime Kattar came in, and then he slipped. And as soon as Giga slipped, Kattar sprinted across the cage and dove at him. And I'm sitting here. No one's even. I'm just home alone right now, and I yelled. I was like, "Oh, dude!" Because when do you see somebody take advantage of the situation like that? That's someone who's like, dude. He said that he learned things from Max, and one of the things that he learned is to take advantage of moments and recognize moments. He was like, Max sees things in the moment that most people don't because they're too caught up in the moment. So that's what he's been working on, right? And he implemented it perfectly. That spot, that was the changing of the tides of the entire fight. Once he took him down after the slip, he controlled him, took his back. He got swept, maintained back control, got the body triangle, forced him to grapple for the rest of the round. And from that moment on, it was a landslide of Kattar just pressuring him. And it's like, he learned so much from Max, you can tell. He talked about it, but it's one thing to talk about it. And another thing to show it. He's recognizing the moment. Yeah, and he fought like Max today. He fought like Max. He didn't let up. He kept coming forward. He just kept peppering him with the jab. He started throwing the elbows, the back fist. Like, he looked like Max in there.
Dude, the spinning back elbow that landed multiple times
one?
this fight.
Yeah. Crazy.
It was insane, man. And you know what? Yeah, a couple wins that were really noticeable. The Edson Barbosa you pointed out. Cub Swanson's no slouch. But it was also the fashion in which Giga was doing it recently.
True. Murdering.
And again, the fact that Kattar hadn't fought in a year, not knowing what kind of Kattar we're going to get, but man, that time off served them very well. And I wish more fighters would do that after they go through receiving the type of punishment. I mean, granted, not many other fighters have received the amount of punishment that Kattar had received recently. I mean, but
you know who else has?
Dom?
Sansan calls it perfectly. Meetings from blessed make fighters such as T-City and Kattar reevaluate and evolve and become better warriors. When T-City got the brakes beaten off him in a very similar fashion that Kattar did by Max, he's out for a while. He comes back against Korean Zombie, and he looked like a completely different fighter. People, when you get beat like that, you sit down and reevaluate.
That was probably his best performance of his career.
The
T-City versus
Korean Zombie, that of the Cub Swanson. The Cub Swanson one holds a special place in my heart. But but that's the truth, though. That's how good Max is. He's beaten people so bad that they sit down and reevaluate and make themselves better. But this is something that the way that Kattar took the beating in that Max fight was kind of the proof that I needed that he's not going to wilt from adversity in a fight or outside of it. You know what I mean? Like, he could have sat down after that fight and reevaluated the career and not the fighting, not the actual fighting. You know what I mean?
What do you think this means about Giga?
This is a setback. It's his first loss, in the UFC.
No, I get it, but it's a small setback. But
Mhm.
also, he got to show what we haven't gotten to see yet, which dude has heart.
Oh, yeah,
He has a
I know what you
chin.
mean now.
He's
Yeah.
willing to deal with adversity, and
Mhm.
it was overwhelming the amount of pressure that Kattar was putting on him. But he
Yeah.
stood in there taking shots. He was on his back
He's
foot
throwing him back, too.
way too much, right? But he
Yeah.
was trying to fire back. So
Yeah.
it's something that we would need to see from Giga sooner or later. It's bound to happen, man. It's the UFC.
Well, that's the thing we always talk about, right? Like, we don't really truly hold people in too high of stock until they get tested, and then we see how they react to that. And he passed the test, right? You don't have to win the fight to pass that test.
Mhm.
He could have taken an easy way out numerous times in this fight and didn't. So yeah, my stock for Giga goes up, and he's going to learn a lot from this fight too.
Yeah, And now we have Korean Zombie that's going to face Alex Volkanovski. We have Max Holloway, who's hurt, right? So he had to pull out of that trilogy. And it leaves us with T-City, Yair Rodriguez, which, oh, God, T-City versus Yair would be a fantastic fight, too.
Yeah. What's the
where does that
update
put
on
Calvin Kattar?
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
a Josh
Kattar,
Emmett?
in a fight in the fight, you win a fight like this, you have to go up. If I'm Kattar, I'm not taking a fight from someone who's ranked below me after that. You lose to Max in a championship contender fight. This is him taking that step back and fighting someone underneath him. He beats the brakes off of him. If I'm Kattar, I'm like, I'm not taking anybody below me. I'm taking Yair. I'm taking Max. I'm taking T-City. That's it.
2023, here we come.
Yeah.
And again, to start off, the first event of 2023, Calvin Kattar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening if he waits.
This is good. I think Giga versus Emmett is a good one, but also Emmett might want to fight sooner than that. Giga's going to have to take some time off from this, I think.
I mean, he's going to need a few stitches.
Yeah, can we pull that picture back up, Rich? Fuck, man.
Wow. Hey, a little humble pie.
A little bit. Talking a lot of smack.
Yeah, but
hey, but I mean, if you're Giga up until this point, I'd be talking a lot of shit too. You know what I mean? He's been running through everybody who they put in front of him.
But just an excellent performance by Calvin Kattar, man.
Yeah,
maybe mixing a little more head movement
from Kattar.
From Kattar.
Yeah, I think so. Well, like that's what he talked about in the post fight. He's like, a winner shouldn't look like this. Look how I look right now.
Very true.
I think if I'm Kattar, it sucks. We don't know the extent of Max's injury. I heard Ariel talk about it. He was told what it was, but it was told in confidence, so he wouldn't say what it is. That makes me think that it's maybe something kind of bad. But who knows, right? It's all speculation. Korean Zombie's going to go out there. He's going to beat Volkanovski, and he's going to be the champ. So they'll probably do an immediate rematch with Volkanovski, and then that kind of puts the division on hold. But Kattar versus Volkanovski is a fantastic matchup. I would love to see it. Stylistically, it's a really cool fight. Ortega took a pretty hefty beat down from Volkanovski in his fight with him. If I'm Kattar, I'm pulling for an Ortega or Yair. I don't know what Yair's. I don't know how his foot is. Right? Didn't he break his foot in the Max fight?
I mean, his foot. There's so many other things I think that we have to worry about with Yair, not just his foot.
Yeah, but tell me you don't want to see that fight.
He was calling for Volkanovski.
Yeah, but everybody throws their hat in the ring. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and he was should I even have to raise my hand for this or whatever? And everybody's like, what, dude?
Like, yeah. But like, remember when Ricky Simone, who was O'Malley supposed to fight when Moutinho stepped in? I don't remember who it was.
I don't remember.
They pulled out. It was like 2 weeks before the fight, and Simone was calling for the fight, talking shit on Twitter, right? I'll fight him. I'll step in. Just call me. They do call him. Sean O'Malley signs a contract, and then he's like, "Oh, I can't make that. It's too short notice." It's like, and I feel like a lot of fighters probably do that too, right? They just have to stay relevant. I mean, the UFC doesn't market you unless you're a few of the top guys, so you kind of have to keep yourself relevant. You know what I mean? But
it's funny.
So that's I think what Yair was doing. I don't think Yair was actually ready for the fight. But I mean, Are you excited for? We haven't talked about Korean Zombie versus Volkanovski. Are you excited for that?
Yeah.
You're not.
I mean, nah. I think it was after seeing Max Holloway versus Volkanovski that was just like, yes,
like finally get to
here we
see-
go,
yeah.
finally, yeah.
Mhm.
And then I saw that and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe I'm crazy, dude, but I rather would have seen Ortega versus Volkanovski rematch
Really?
personally.
I get why
Yeah.
people say that, but outside of those two moments, that was a landslide by Volkanovski. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was a dominant performance, but I think you've even said it before. Ortega showed that he has the ability to beat Volkanovski.
No, yeah, he definitely can beat him. But in my
That, and
opinion,
I'm just a fanboy right now, and I love Ortega. You know what I
know,
mean? So I want him to get that
Sa-
shot again.
Same here, but for me, I'm also a fanboy of the Korean Zombie, and he's the highest ranked guy coming off of a win. He's a style that Volkanovski hasn't fought yet. I don't want to see. I'd like to see Ortega beat somebody else to earn a title shot again. Yair's got a broken foot.
Jair?
His foot's a fucking balloon, right? And then everyone, but that brings me to this fight. Everybody was like, just wait till this weekend so you can do Giga versus Volkanovski. Just wait so you can do Giga. And here we are. and
Yeah.
that's what Kattar was saying. Everybody counted me
A
out.
clean
but-
sweep. Clean sweep
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. I mean, a 50-44 on one of the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, and the other were 50-45s.
Yeah.
I mean, just he got
Dominant.
dominated, man.
Yeah.
Got dominated.
But I'm
All right.
excited for Korean Zombie versus Volkanovski. And I think, and everyone's kind of talking shit about Volkanovski for calling out Zombie. But in my opinion, I don't think Korean Zombie was going to get a title shot through conventional methods at this point in his career and where the rankings are in that division. So if I'm Volkanovski, I'm trying to pepper in as many different names on my reign as I can.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he's going to be able to say he beat Ortega, he beat Max Holloway, he beat Korean Zombie, and then who knows what else. If he beats him, I think Korean Zombie's going to beat him. But
You think Korean Zombie's going to beat Volkanovski? What? You're calling it now?
call it right now, dude.
Wow.
Korean Zombie. I'm a little worried with his shoulder. He said his shoulder's still not healed, so we'll see if it pops out like it did in the Aldo
We should
fight.
place a little wager.
Hey, but you know what gym he's going to?
What?
Fight Ready with Yuri Prohaska, John Jones, Davison Figueiredo, Henry Cejudo,
Triple C?
Zhang Wei Li.
Wow. That's stacked, dude.
It's like very good camp to be training against the training for Volkanovski. You got Figueiredo, Zhang Wei Li, Henry Cejudo. You're training with them, and John Jones is there. And John Jones is probably gonna be like, "Oh, you're fighting Izzy's boy? Let me teach you everything I know."
And he's going to be like, oh, you want to hang out tonight? No, this cool
Korean
bar
Zombie,
we can
like,
go
I'm
to.
trying to get arrested. Yeah.
All
But-
right, man.
Calvin Kattar, fight of the year so far.
For sure. Fight of the year. All right, before that, we had Collier versus Sherman.
Just
Yeah.
two big old dudes swinging and banging. You
Dude.
know?
It's a Collier former middleweight.
Former middleweight.
Dude. And your boy looks big in there.
Yeah, Rich, I'm gonna put a picture of. We don't have photos because it's so.
Well, like a before and after.
so
Oh, the
last
10-year
minute.
challenge. Is it the
But
10-year
let's see,
challenge that's been going around?
No, it's just Collier at middleweight.
Collier? Oh, okay, well. Hey, but
But-
dude, he's got some quick hands.
That's what happens in your middleweight.
Very quick hands. And then Sherman
me
ate a
to
couple
middleweight.
shots, dude.
Yeah.
Fired back a few times.
Hey, they were cracking each other.
I'm surprised that Collier is able to take those shots, man.
And we've seen why is my camera like that? We've seen Sherman put people out.
Yep.
He doesn't hit. He hits hard.
Yeah.
There's the heavyweight Collier.
Wow. That's insane.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild, man. It's almost like seeing what was it, welterweight? What's his name? Oh, why can't I think of the name right now?
Gaslam?
Oh, Rumble Johnson.
Oh yeah, same kind of thing, right?
Yeah, seeing welterweight Rumble Johnson, you're like, how did they ever make that weight?
Oh well, in the case of Johnson, he barely ever did.
True, very true. But yeah, so Not much to say about that fight. Once Collier took Sherman's back, there was pretty much game over. There wasn't very much hand fighting, anything. Just
Even
sunk
once
it
he
in
took
very
once he took him
slowly.
down.
Yeah, it was game over.
Yeah,
I
and,
think
and
after eating a couple shots, he was like, "All right, tonight's not my
here's my
night.
back. Here's my
It's
back.
not my night."
And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
No, live to fight another day, dude.
But yeah, in that moment when he gave up his back and he turtled, and I mean, he just reached in and got the choke, and his hands were on the mat slowly.
He's like,
And
slow
and
motion.
and there's nothing wrong with that
No.
whatsoever.
Sherman said, "Jesus, take the wheel, dude." And he
So
lived to fight
Collier
another day.
take the wheel.
Yeah, Collier take the wheel. All right. Before that, though, we had Bontorin versus Royval, man. This was a fun fight.
Dude, exhausting.
So before the Kattar fight, I texted you. I was like, "Dude, fight of the night for sure." And then you're like, "Fight of the
Yeah.
year." And then Kattar's second round, I was like, "Dude, fight of the year." Like
Yeah.
it's just. But Royval, dude, the urgency, right?
Yeah.
And his battle for position is a thing of
Mhm.
beauty. As soon as he
Yeah.
goes down, he's going for a leg lock. He's going for an omoplata. He's going for a gogoplata. He's sweeps, you name it. He looks so frustrating to be down
Mhm.
on the ground with.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those guys that we've started to see it more and more is guys going for leg locks just to get you off of them in guard. Dude, his ability to get feet on the hips and push you away late in the fight is crazy. That's something you cannot do if you don't have like a ton of energy still. He was pushing him off of him.
Dude, and Bontorin, credit to him, he looked very strong, man.
Yeah.
Very strong.
I mean, just double underhooks just dump you down.
It was crazy, but dude, Royval's just so crafty. No matter
Yeah.
what position he is on his back, in half guard, whatever, he's gonna find a way to make you think defense. That gives him an opportunity and create a little bit of space for him to try to, like you said, get his feet on the hips, push away. You know, even when he was, I think Bontorin had his back, right? And Royval was working off the cage, and the way that he used the cage to create leverage too, dude, just so good, man, so good.
Yeah.
And also, did Bontorin?
I was about
Tap?
to ask. Yes, he did. I love how Fitzgerald tried to save it to like nib the controversy in the bud, but no, he tapped.
Dude,
He tapped
that
on
looked like a
armbar.
very clear tap. The arm
Yeah.
was very hyperextended
Yeah.
at that point.
It was nasty.
And then
It
he
was
was like,
he missed
tap.
the tap. That's what it was, but he did tap.
he's like tap, and then Royval starts sliding down a little bit. He's like, wait a second, maybe just ignore that happened. We're good.
Mhm.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
And they
I
did.
was kind of worried they were going to give it to Bontorin on this. It was split, right? But
How'd you have it?
I had Royval winning.
1-3?
Yeah, I had 1-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Just
here.
because, dude, that first round, he looked fucking flawless for a good amount of that round where he was just bouncing back and forth. He would jab, slip, jab, jab, slip, jab. And it was like, oh my God, dude. How do you like, he's like a fly, dude. You know, like, he's like, just like, fuck, dude, get out of here.
Dude,
I mean,
it
he
was a
just
really
stays
fun
on
fight.
you.
It was
Hey,
a
I'll
really
go
fun
out and
fight.
say it right now. This is, I think, the best division in the sport right now.
Ooh, okay. I mean, you take a look at Brandon Moreno, the champion, Davison Figueiredo, Askar Askarov, Alexander Pantoja, Alex
Who has
Perez,
2
Brandon
wins over
Royval,
Moreno?
Kai Kara France, Bontorin. Dude, it's stacked.
Nicolau,
Matt Schnell? No, I'm just kidding.
David Dvorak has a fight coming up. That dude, he's still undefeated, right? That guy's a fucking savage. He might
Tim
be a
Elliott?
future champ. They just signed him on another fight. Tim Elliott,
Sumadarji?
Sumadarji, Manel Cap. Like, dude, this division is crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's gonna be a lot of fun for a very long time. And to think that this division was almost no more.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
Till
like
Triple
how
C came through
Dana.
and saved it.
No. It was Mick Maynard. Mick Maynard sat down,
No,
tore the division down, and he rebuilt it. That's what Dana always says because he refuses to like mention Triple C.
Poor Triple C.
But Dvorak is fighting Nicolau soon on that March 26th card.
Oh, that
and
should be good.
That guy is gonna be a champ. Also,
a
Nicolau
lot
has
to look
that.
forward to.
Yeah.
All
Very
right,
good.
man.
Very good division. Fun fight
Before
though.
that,
They got fight of the night snatched away from them. You know.
yeah, it happens, dude.
Yeah.
As Billy the Kid Portillo. It happens.
Yeah.
Before that, we had Chookagian versus Maia. Well, there was a solid like trading back and forth of the 1-2 in the first round. And then Maia just never seemed to go away from the 1-2.
Never went away from the 1-2. Chookagian did a better job this fight of mixing things up more so than she normally does. But I can't say that I've ever been impressed. I don't want to talk shit. I'm not going to talk shit. Yeah, I'm not going to talk shit, but
you're not talking shit. You're being honest.
It's just frustrating to watch sometimes.
Well, we also got to think about this division, right? And who the champion is and who's going to pose a threat. Now, I know that this is Katie's pick. Chookagian.
Hey, that's the first thing I thought when she started kind of running away with this. I was like,
hey,
it's gonna get another title fight and like some bullshit's gonna happen.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. I mean, Chookagian now 17-4, you know, and Jennifer Maia. I think that Jennifer Maia has the skill set, man. I just don't know what's going on, what's holding her back. Like I said, she just got so repetitive. And did you see it through ESPN Plus?
Yeah, I watched it through ESPN Plus.
Because, I mean, we don't get the corner work all the time, right? So I don't know exactly what kind of advice they were giving Maia. But you would think somebody would kind of like shake her a little bit and just be like, hey, she's picked up on the 1-2 already.
Yeah.
You're having a hard time closing the distance.
Yeah.
You know, let's mix it up. Let's do a little something different.
Yeah. They just announced the performance bonuses right now.
Ooh, okay. You want to
Calvin
say those for the end, or do you want to do it right now?
Let's just do it right now.
All right, what is
it? It's happening. Kattar and Chikadze got fight of the night.
As they should.
It's also, I want to say it now because we're going to transition here and it's going to be perfect. But Collier got a performance of the night for his rear naked choke on Sherman.
All right.
And Borshchev got a performance of the night for his liver shot KO.
Brings us to Bush versus Borshchev. Dude, now the disrespect. They kept on just talking about Borshchev and his lack of ground game over and over and over again.
What the fuck are they doing, man?
What do they have against Borshchev, man?
Hey, and he did a great job on the ground. Yeah, he got taken down, but like, bro, DC got taken down. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean shit.
And again, because one of the things that I've noticed that Bisping hates is when somebody gets taken down and they sit on their back and they're complacent and they're okay with being on their back.
Yeah,
this is when they gotta get up. They gotta do more.
You can't accept the position until you're put on your back.
And Borshchev didn't. He didn't accept the position.
Yeah.
So you know what? Props to Borshchev. Don't listen to those guys talking trash about your ground game, Borshchev.
Yeah.
The disrespect.
I think this might become a favorite of yours, dude. If he wasn't already, Borshchev.
I like the guy a lot. Team Alpha Male guy. You know, next generation, maybe. Who knows? And you know, Team Alpha Male,
his hands are crazy.
It's like the world team now. You know, bringing this guy in from Russia.
They really are. You got Song Yadong.
Song Yadong. I mean, we're starting to mix it up, dude. We're going worldwide at Team Alpha Male.
It's not just California wrestlers.
It is not. Team California wrestlers, no. So it's interesting to see what's going on over there right now. Because those California wrestlers, that core group you're talking about, all kind of just went their own way.
Yeah, they really did.
We have Chad Mendes now about to fight bare knuckle boxing. That should be fun to watch. Are we gonna watch that? We should do I'm
always down. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, people can talk shit about those bare knuckle events, but if you're here for entertainment, if you watch fights for entertainment, you should be watching those because they're entertaining as hell.
Fight Companion, maybe.
Maybe. When is it?
I don't know. February 12th, maybe around there.
Whoa, maybe.
Yeah. I'm guessing right now. I'm in love with fights, dude. That's what I'm gonna do all night. All right, man. But that body shot.
Just bleed gods. Yeah, dude.
As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, Will right now is just going nuts.
Yeah. I may have jumped out of my chair. Dude. And I mean, if you're following the sport and you follow Borshchev, you know this dude's hands are incredible. But we haven't really seen him be like tested. And he was hurt. Bush had him hurt in this fight with that knee. He was wobbly for a while and it was like trying to get him off of him. Couldn't do it. And then the thing about him though is he almost baited him into like fighting in the pocket. because dude, when he's fighting in the pocket, like phone booth fighting, god damn, he's at the top. He's a high level phone booth boxer. That dude is, I mean, his elbows are tucked when he's throwing. You know, he's throwing with his whole body, and he's like coming down from different angles. He's coming up. It's not just straight or left and right. It's not horizontal. He's coming down. He's coming up. Like, dude, he rips like a Tasmanian devil. You know what I mean? And
Russian Tasmanian devil.
yeah, dude, it's out of Sacramento. And dude, and the way he set up that left hand to the body, he throws the right straight, right? Angles off so that Bush throws his right hand and he leaves that liver exposed. So he's already leaning, knowing he's throwing that right hand to counter his right hand, slips it and just rips it. And, oh my God, dude. Perfect. It was perfect.
Dirty, man. It was a great shot. Very impressed by Borshchev. Team Alpha Male making a comeback. Let's go.
When's the last time you've seen someone drop that immediately from a body shot?
Yeah, usually like a delayed response.
Mm-hmm.
Not
that time.
The body was like, nah, dude, we got to shut down right now.
Yeah, it reminded me of, unfortunately, the John Jones standing guillotine. Just immediate, as soon as the separation from what's happening, it just
collapse.
Yeah, just done. But
the disrespect.
I was happy for it.
All right. Anything
that
else
was nasty, man. I love body shots. No, that was I'm glad he got a performance bonus because that shit was impressive as hell.
All right, man. Before that, we had Algeo versus Brito.
Yeah, I had Brito in this one, huh? I think a lot of people did. Hey, but we were really high on Algeo. Yeah, I mean, he was in it for sure. We were really high on Algeo when he made his debut against Ricardo Lamas, right?
Yep.
Since then, he's kind of had some ups and downs, right? I think he showed things in that fight that he hasn't really shown since. I don't think he's been fighting to his full potential because, I mean, after that fight, he lost that fight and we were super high on him.
Short notice,
we were raving about him. Short notice debut.
Short notice against Lamas. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and we were
beats,
very
Spike Carlisle.
Yeah.
Loses to Ricardo Ramos.
He's in Game of Thrones.
And then now beats Brito. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fought Ricardo Lamas. Lost to him. Lost also to Ricardo Ramos.
Oh, interesting.
Ricardo Ramos, Ricardo Lamas. But
good against Ricardo's.
Or Amos's. But I mean, this was Algeo at his potential. I think he fought really well.
I love the counters.
Check some leg kicks.
Yes, I love the counters though.
Yeah, the counters were fantastic.
Brito and just the movement. The aggressor kept on moving forward, which looked really good the first round. But as things continue to progress, Algeo was able to counter that a lot more, man. So,
he's just so elusive, man, and he's got like weird things up his sleeves. You know, that standing knee as Brito was coming in, the spinning back fist, but those leg kicks that he was eating, I don't know how. It seemed like they had no effect on him. Those were some of the hardest leg kicks I've seen in a long time.
He's limping around right now.
I mean, he's got to be in a lot of pain. Those were gnarly, man.
What do you think is more painful, the leg kicks or his cringy ass post fight interview?
I mean, I think the post fight interview would have been better if he wasn't completely exhausted. He was just like, the energy was like not there, you know?
He's like, who here is Giga fans? Hey, go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Hey, but maybe it was a premonition, you know?
Maybe. I don't know. But that'd be jumping a lot for him.
No. I'm saying the premonition of him, he was going to lose. But Algeo should definitely not step up. That's a huge jump for Algeo.
Huge jump.
Dude, he needs to worry about kicking range. If Brito was chewing his legs up like that, imagine what Giga would do with his kicks, you know?
Very true.
But I do like the guy. Both these guys.
Oh, dude. Again, he looked really good since we saw him against Lamas. By the way, it's Lamas, not Lamos. So,
I got the glasses on, but apparently they don't work that well.
But yeah, man, like Algeo, showed what he's capable of. Again, post-fight interview, a little rough, but it's okay. We'll continue.
Hey, we need to get Felder back in there to do the post-fight interviews. There was like 6 awkward moments tonight of Bisping like not letting people give their shout-outs, and then being like, oh, and then like looking at the camera like, yeah. It's like, dude, let's get Felder in there. He's just much better at like commanding the interview, Dude, and I like Bisping on the commentary team a lot. It's just, I think Felder's the best at post-fight interviews.
So Fitzgerald's money, Felder's money at the post-fight interviews. You know what? Today, Dom didn't annoy me very much.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good, man. He stayed quiet most of the time, which is probably why I liked him so much tonight.
Yeah.
But when he was giving his tidbits, it was good.
Yeah, he didn't come off like a know-it-all.
We know that he knows so much, extremely knowledgeable, maybe one of the most knowledgeable in the game.
Yeah.
But just the way that he was hopping in here and there, he didn't get into any spats back and forth with Bisping, and it was good. I liked it. This was a good crew.
The commentary team was really good tonight.
Can we just put crews for the post-fight interviews one time?
Oh, dude, it'd be so awkward, dude.
It would be super awkward. You'd be getting in arguments with people in there.
How come you weren't pummeling for the underhooks on the cage? Like, don't you understand? That's like the most important thing.
Oh man,
did you not watch tape on your opponent?
Obviously not.
Yeah,
I think I watched more tape than you did.
Yeah.
Oh man, good stuff. All right, dude. And the only other fight I watched actually tonight, because I had to work today, and the fight started early, but was Pickett versus Holmes. They were building Holmes up when they were talking about him.
Yeah, they were.
They're like, oh, Dana White's contender series, and also Dana White's looking for a fight, and they got him in, essentially saying, hey, big things ahead, which there might be. There might be for Holmes.
Lessons learned, right?
But Pickett said, not so fast.
Yeah. And
he started off with a lot of energy, Holmes.
Too much energy. Huh?
I mean, it was his debut, right?
It was his debut. I think he had a massive adrenaline dump.
Dump?
Because he won that first round. Easy. It was an easy win for him. And he came out in the second completely gassed at the start of the round. And he looked kind of fine at the end of the first. He didn't look like he was that gassed. And then
there's one thing at the end of the first that I noticed. So Pickett goes in, extends with a big left, and catches him on the side, swells up, cuts him up. And after that, he started stepping back a little bit more. And I think he was just so hyped. He was going in there. He was landing his shots. And then he was like, oh, shit. Dude hits hard.
Dude,
and I'm in a fight. And I'm in the UFC. Oh, shit. Yeah.
And everyone's thinking that I wasn't ready for the first time. What if they think I'm not ready now?
What if I'm not ready?
I think mentally this was a lot. It would be so much, man. To make your UFC debut. I mean, but he showed some things very unorthodox striking, really unorthodox, and his use of range and understanding of range is very promising. I mean, he found his range early in the first round, and they had the same reach, and he was out of range from Pickett for most of his shots in the first, and he was tagging him at the end of his shots all through the first round. So I am super impressed. I think we just kind of have to get the debut out of the way and learn from this one, right? And he's got a great coach. So
and Pickett on the opposite end of the spectrum, man, looked really good all the way through 3 rounds, So props to Pickett and strong. Dude, he looks very strong.
Yeah, that's about all he looked.
But dude, he wasn't gassing, and he was throwing too.
Yes. Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Like where in the opposite end of the spectrum, where Holmes looked absolutely gassed coming out in the second round, Pickett looked like he could have gone another round or 2.
No, he definitely could have. I mean, the dude can serve, and I think that's what he was talking about at the end of the fight. He said he was kind of like disappointed in himself, right? And he said that he didn't expect the distance management from Holmes, and he just had a hard time connecting and reaching him. And that was kind of evident. Even later on, even in the third round, Holmes was landing his shots at range. He just wasn't following up with it, and I just don't think he had the energy to,
Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, I think that was all the fights we're going to cover today. Am I right?
That's all of them, right?
Did you watch anything else? Did you want to?
We'll talk about the other ones, right? Court McGee had a really good performance against Brahimaj. I mean, just a clean sweep, dropped him, I think, a couple times, and just, a grueling Court McGee style fight. He really imposed his game plan. Looked
Only
really
his
good.
31st fight.
Yeah, and he said he's never felt better. I mean, most people say that, right? But he's talking about how he's like, I have like a pep in my step. I have like a good attitude lately. Like, it's cool to see because I really like Court McGee.
Yeah, actually, I think I saw the post-fight interview. It was like, dude, I'm trying to be a nice guy or something like that. Like
Yeah, he
outside
said
of the octagon.
his next door neighbors told him that he needs to. Will's musings. His next door neighbor told him that he needs to create a persona and live in that persona while he fights, and because he just doesn't want to hurt people. And he's like, at this level, you have to be trying to hurt people, and he's like, I just don't want to hurt people. So, super interesting, man. Court McGee's always been a really cool guy. Kelleher had a
good psychological work by his neighbor, though.
Hey, yeah, all kinds of fighters are going to be going to Court McGee's neighbor.
Dude, what's this guy's name?
Yeah, I don't know. Give him a shout out. Just dox him. But Brian Kelleher had a really good performance against Kevin Croom. Goes up to 145 for it, right? Croom, fantastic striker. And it was one of those fights where Croom was really just picking him apart from the outside, but Kelleher was like getting in. I mean, the reach advantage was crazy, right? Kelleher's a small dude compared to most 145ers. But he was getting in there and ripping him to the body. And he did what he needed to do. And then ultimately just started ragdolling him towards the end of the fight. Really impressive performance from Kelleher, a weight class above where he normally fights. And then Rosa versus Brown was decent.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
way to break down Brown versus Rosa now.
Yeah.
How about moment of silence for the fights?
Yeah, how about more fights were canceled on this card than there were that took place. We'll go over some of the big ones. Buckley versus Abdul Razak Al Hassan was the biggest one. I think they're still trying to make that fight. Al Hassan withdrew from it, but that fight is like the knockout curse that's been going around, right? Both those guys knock everybody out. Both those guys get knocked out. That fight was going to be pretty much guaranteed a banger. Michel Pereira was supposed to fight.
Always fun to watch.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight on this. He was supposed to be the co-main event. He had two opponents, Salikov and Andre Fialho. Probably butchering that.
Yeah.
But both of those did not happen. Victor Henry versus Barcelos would have been a really cool one. But it is what it is. And that's kind of the gist of it. Not like the most crazy card to start the year. I mean, I think we're going to start to see a lot of canceled fights just with what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
And this fight got hit, or this card got hit pretty hard. 270 is already getting hit. They just pulled Greg Hardy off of it. I think we're going to see a lot of rescheduled, a lot of crippled cards in the next few months to start this year.
Just got to stack them just in case.
Just in case.
Hey,
right, but man. I mean, at the end of the day, we had the Algeo versus Brito fight was very good. Royval versus Bontorin was very good, and then Kattar versus Chikadze, three above average fights. I mean, Kattar versus Chikadze was fucking crazy.
And we finished the night off very strong.
Very strong. Good taste left in the mouth.
All right, man. So that's all we got. What do we have going on next week?
Next week is UFC 270.
Ooh, that should be a lot of fun. So we have Francis and
people hating on this card.
Gone. Really?
Yeah. I see why the pay-per-view portion of it is a little tough as it stands. But the card itself, top to bottom, is very good, I think.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about now. I definitely see what you're talking about now.
But
Charles Jourdain, dude, this is a quick turnaround.
Very quick turnaround, and probably not a good move, but it's still a very good matchup. But Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane, obviously that's an insane fight. Nobody's really talking about Moreno versus Figgy. I don't know if it's because Moreno won so like
dominant fashion.
Yeah, maybe they're not talking about it. But on the flip side, they fought twice. One of them was a dominant win by Moreno. The other one was fight of the year. So, I mean, this could be. I mean, Figueiredo might go out there and knock him out. I mean, he hits so hard. I'm super excited for that fight. Moreno's first title defense. Topuria versus Charles Jourdain, like you just mentioned, fantastic matchup. I think Jourdain's kind of coming into his own. A lot of people think Topuria is going to be a future champ. That's a great fight. Rodolfo Vieira's on it versus Wellington Turman. That's an awesome fight. Anytime you get to see a specialist like that is interesting, right?
Yep.
Khabib's cousin's on it, right? Fighting Cody Stamann. Interesting. Hey, we got the boy Trevin Giles on it versus Michael Morales. That's a great fight.
Nice. Yeah,
You know, like, it's not bad. It's really not bad. Michel
Pereira
Pereira
was moved over here. Okay.
Barcelos was moved over. Hey, you got Kay Hansen fighting also. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a good card.
All right. Well, looking forward to it. It'll be the first pay-per-view of the new year. And let's be real, man. Whenever you have heavyweights,
Sansan.
Shout out Sansan for sure. But whenever you have heavyweights going at it, the heavyweight champion of the world, you don't really need to stack the card to sell. Well, and this is the first time that UFC is going at $74.99, right? So
it is. Yeah. We had that crazy post on Reddit about that conspiracy theory. That shit's almost at 4,000 views or 4,000 likes, and like it's over 400 comments now. A little conspiracy theory. But
go check it out if you're wondering what it is.
Yeah, but the fight itself is fantastic. Also, thank you everybody who came from that. We got like 15 subscribers, so thank you guys for doing that. Hopefully you stick around and like what we do. And if you don't tell us, just tell us why it sucks and we'll try to make it better. But we won't be offended. But I'm excited for that card, man. Really excited.
Awesome. Well, that's all I got for this week, Will. Do you have anything else?
No, other than we should be back at our regular time, live Sunday morning. This was a very last minute thing, doing it live tonight, but we'll be back doing it Sunday morning next week.
Word. And of course, if you even remotely like our content, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever we're going to be hopping on. And you can find us on Spotify, Breaker, Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Pretty much anywhere podcasts are found.
Yeah. At Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter and now TikTok. Maybe we'll be posting on there something.
Maybe.
When we figure it out.
I got to figure out how to post.
Yeah. We got Story of the Fight on Reddit. We have a subreddit Story of the Fight now as well. Yeah, thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Please comment. Shout out Sansan for hopping on the late Saturday night episode.
Sansan's always coming through, man.
Sansan's a ride or die, dude.
Love him, man. Love him. All right. Everybody, thanks for listening another week. Story of the Fight. I hope Rich knows how to TikTok.